focuses on the opening of the story, which immediately establishes the chaotic and high-pressure environment surrounding Mr. Haley. The scene begins with Mr. Haley in a state of extreme agitation after a minor workplace incident in which a floor is poorly mopped, leading to his suit being ruined. He reacts with disproportionate anger and blames the employee, Vanessa, for the mishap, showing a complete lack of empathy or understanding. His aggressive and condescending tone underscores his arrogance and sense of entitlement. The dialogue conveys that he sees himself as superior to everyone around him, including the staff, and he treats them as disposable tools rather than human beings. Vanessa, in contrast, remains calm and professional, despite being unjustly accused and insulted. This contrast highlights her patience, professionalism, and moral composure, which are central to her character throughout the story. The opening sequence also reveals Haley's obsession with appearances and social status. He is preparing for a flight to Paris with Tiffany, the CEO's daughter, and her father, emphasizing his preoccupation with prestige and the impression he makes on influential people. His panic over his suit being ruined, rather than concern for safety or fairness, reinforces his shallow and self-centered mindset. The narrative demonstrates a workplace hierarchy where power is misused. Haley believes his position as a senior vice president allows him to speak and act without accountability, reflecting a toxic corporate environment where authority is often abused. The dialogue also hints at underlying ambitions, as Haley's focus is not merely on the immediate incident, but on advancing his career and maintaining his image. Additionally, this opening establishes the conflict and tension that drive the story forward. Vanessa, though wrongly blamed, becomes a focal point for Haley's frustration and a symbol of innocence and fairness. The sequence is critical because it sets up the stakes for the characters, introduces the themes of arrogance, entitlement, and moral responsibility, and foreshadows the unfolding consequences of unethical behavior. Through this initial scene, the story conveys that personal ambition, when combined with arrogance and a lack of empathy, can lead to conflict and crisis, setting the stage for subsequent developments that will challenge characters, values, decisions, and integrity. The dynamics introduced here form the foundation for the story's message about accountability, ethics, and justice in both personal and professional contexts. Conflict surrounding the missing 6-carat diamond ring and the escalating tension between Mr. Haley and Vanessa. After the initial workplace incident, Mr. Haley immediately accuses Vanessa of stealing the ring, believing it disappeared when she helped him after he slipped on the poorly mopped floor. His reaction is fueled by panic, arrogance, and entitlement, as he cannot imagine that anyone could be innocent in a situation that affects his plans. Vanessa is placed in an extremely stressful situation, having already been unfairly criticized and dismissed, and now she faces accusations that could have serious legal consequences. The dialogue highlights Haley's obsessive concern for appearances and social status, as his primary worry is that the incident will interfere with his flight to Paris and his planned proposal to Tiffany at her father's favorite restaurant. He views the ring as both a valuable investment and a symbol of his personal and professional ambitions, further emphasizing his materialistic and self-centered mindset. The situation escalates as Haley threatens Vanessa with the police, claiming that if she refuses to allow him to search her, she will be arrested and face legal trouble. This introduces the theme of power imbalance, as Haley exploits his position and social influence to intimidate someone with far less authority. Vanessa, despite the mounting pressure, maintains her integrity and repeatedly asserts that she did not steal the ring, demonstrating her honesty and resilience in the face of false accusations. The tension also underscores the dangers of making assumptions and acting impulsively, as Haley's lack of evidence and unwillingness to consider other explanations nearly results in injustice. The sequence conveys the high stakes involved when greed, entitlement, and impulsive behavior intersect with someone's life and livelihood. It also builds suspense for the audience, as it is unclear whether Haley will realize his mistake or whether Vanessa will be vindicated. The events in this part of the story serve to deepen character development, illustrate the consequences of arrogance and mistrust, and set the stage for eventual resolution and moral lessons about honesty, accountability, and fairness in both personal and professional interactions revolves around the revelation of the truth regarding the missing diamond ring and the consequences faced by the characters involved. After intense accusations and threats of legal action, the situation begins to unravel when evidence emerges that Vanessa did not take the ring. It is revealed that the ring was never stolen by her, and that Mr. Haley's assumptions were entirely unfounded. This moment highlights the danger of jumping to conclusions and the way arrogance and entitlement can cloud judgment, leading to unfair treatment of innocent individuals. Vanessa, who had been wrongly accused and threatened with arrest, finally gains vindication as the true sequence of events comes to light. Her honesty and integrity are contrasted sharply with Mr. Haley's impulsive and self-serving behavior, emphasizing the moral that ethical conduct and truthfulness hold more value than deceit or entitlement. The narrative also exposes the stark imbalance of power in the workplace, showing how someone in a position of authority can attempt to manipulate or intimidate others to protect their own interests. However, as the truth becomes evident, Mr. Haley is faced with the consequences of his actions, including public humiliation and loss of credibility. This part of the story also demonstrates the emotional strain placed on individuals when they are wrongly accused, as Vanessa experiences fear, distress, and uncertainty about her future, even after having already endured unfair treatment at work. The tension that builds in this section of the story reinforces the importance of patience, investigation, and fairness before making judgments or taking action against someone. Furthermore, the eventual clarification of events not only restores Vanessa's reputation, but also highlights the potential for growth and reflection in those who acted impulsively, even if they initially fail to recognize their mistakes. The resolution of the ring incident serves as a turning point, allowing the characters to confront their errors, understand the impact of their decisions, and move toward a more just and equitable outcome. It underscores themes of accountability, honesty, and the dangers of pride and assumption in both personal and professional contexts, focuses on the intense confrontation between Mr. Haley, Vanessa, and the other employees, highlighting the escalating tension and the high stakes of the situation. The conflict begins with Mr. Haley accusing Vanessa of stealing his 6-carat diamond ring after slipping on the floor, which he blames her for improperly mopping. His anger and sense of entitlement escalate quickly, revealing his arrogance and obsession with control. He threatens to involve the police and have Vanessa arrested, demonstrating how fear and intimidation are used as tools to manipulate and dominate those perceived as weaker or lower in status. Vanessa, meanwhile, is caught in a stressful situation, trying to defend herself while facing accusations that could ruin her life and career. The story illustrates the extreme imbalance of power in the workplace and how a single incident can spiral out of control when judgment is clouded by ego and assumptions. Tom attempts to intervene, urging reason and calm, but Mr. Haley's obsession with appearances, career advancement, and material possessions overrides any rational discussion. The confrontation also highlights the absurdity of Mr. Haley's priorities, as he values his engagement, the timing of a proposal, and his personal image over fairness, honesty, and the well-being of those around him. The narrative tension builds as the characters navigate the misunderstandings, miscommunication, and aggressive behavior, creating a chaotic and emotionally charged atmosphere. Ultimately, the key events underscore the dangers of pride, impatience, and making assumptions without evidence. The interaction reveals character traits and dynamics that drive the story, from Vanessa's resilience and integrity to Mr. Haley's entitlement and impulsive decision-making. It also sets the stage for the resolution, showing how conflicts rooted in ego and misjudgment can escalate unnecessarily and impact multiple lives. The unfolding drama between employer and employees, coupled with the high-pressure environment of career ambition and personal stakes, provides a vivid depiction of how quickly situations can intensify when fairness, understanding, and communication are neglected. This section emphasizes the consequences of reckless behavior and foreshadows the eventual need for accountability, justice, and reconciliation among the characters, while highlighting the emotional impact of wrongful accusations and threats on those unfairly targeted. Centers on the resolution of the conflict and the revelation of truth, highlighting justice, accountability, and the restoration of order. The tension from the earlier confrontation reaches its climax when the truth about the missing 6-carat diamond ring is revealed, clearing Vanessa of the theft accusations. The story demonstrates how misunderstandings and assumptions, fueled by ego and impatience, can spiral into serious conflicts, but also shows that truth and honesty ultimately prevail. The police are involved due to Mr. Haley's threats, and the legal procedures underscore the seriousness of falsely accusing someone and the consequences of reckless behavior. The intervention of other characters, particularly those who witness or facilitate the clearing of Vanessa's name, emphasizes the importance of support and advocacy in moments of injustice. This section also explores the personal growth and realization of accountability for characters like Mr. Haley, whose obsession with appearances, control, and material wealth is contrasted against the honesty, integrity, and composure of Vanessa and Tom. The resolution restores fairness, demonstrating that actions driven by greed, arrogance, or prejudice are ultimately unsustainable. It also highlights the emotional relief and empowerment that comes with justice, showing how Vanessa, once under extreme stress and threat, is vindicated and recognized for her honesty. Furthermore, this keynote emphasizes the idea that true character is revealed in moments of conflict and challenge, illustrating how integrity and calmness in the face of false accusations can triumph over intimidation and manipulation. The narrative conveys a moral lesson about the consequences of rash decisions and the importance of patience, evidence, and fairness in assessing situations. Relationships and social dynamics within the workplace are also rebalanced as respect is restored and abusive behavior is confronted, showing that accountability is crucial in maintaining ethical and functional interactions. The events leading to the resolution offer a satisfying conclusion to the story's central tension while reinforcing themes of justice, personal responsibility, and the triumph of truth. In addition, the positive outcomes for the innocent characters serve as a reminder that resilience, honesty, and courage in the face of adversity are ultimately rewarded, and that situations fueled by misunderstandings can be resolved when fairness and reason prevail. Integrity and honesty always triumph over arrogance and deceit. Stand strong, do the right thing, and never let anyone make you compromise your values.